Hey, what's up, everybody? Jazz Gonzo here. Another episode of What's Next. Happy Friday. The economy. And I know on this show, I talk about economy in generalities. From NBA players to Holly woke, to, going to the movies, to you buying music, things of that nature. But from what we've seen over the last few weeks regarding the economic supply chain. Now, I'm not an economic expert when it comes to that, but there are people much smarter than I who actually know what the hell they're talking about. I'm going to play a little clip for you from Tucker Carlson that I caught this morning. And he kind of puts a nice little bow, and he actually puts a nice pin to what the economic supply chain is. Take a look.
Maybe it'll work here. That could be their thinking. But it won't work here because domestic economics is not like foreign policy. People notice when their own lives change. When you can't buy Christmas presents for your children or manage to keep your house warm in January, these are not symbolic problems. These are measurable declines in your family's standard of living, and they have consequences. If economic decline continues, and it seems likely to continue, you will see a profound political reset in this country. And here's why. The only reason Americans have put up with the endless woke garbage that the left churns out by the gallon is because they can afford to put up with it. For generations, this has been a very rich country, and affluence covers a multitude of sins. People will tolerate a lot of things they disagree with as long as gas is cheap and the Amazon deliveries keep coming. But when a society becomes poorer, people's attitudes change, and they change fast. For one thing, they become much less patient when they're mistreated. You're firing me right before Christmas because I won't take your shot? No, I'm resisting that. You're telling me my son can't get a job because he's the wrong skin color? No, that's wrong, and I'm going to fight it, etc., etc. Politics will look very different in a country with permanent shortages, and this may be an unpleasant surprise for the Democratic Party. The progressive left's entire program is built on the presumption of endless, boundless affluence. Of course we can afford that. We're rich. People like Nancy Pelosi and Sandy Cortez and Rashida Tlaib believe that, and they believe it as a matter of faith. They talk about economics, but they have no idea how the actual economy works. They don't know anything about the great American affluence machine. They've never really had jobs. The one thing they know for certain, dead certain, is that every good thing must be free. It has to be. But that's not how life works. Certainly not in countries that don't hold the world's reserve currency. There's a reason they don't have drag queen story hour in Mexico. People in Michoacan are worried about tortilla prices and cartel shootings. They don't have time for that kind of nonsense. We're about to become a lot more like Mexico. It turns out our economy was much more fragile than we thought it was. And if we'd known that earlier, we might not have elected an economic illiterate like Joe Biden as president.
Regarding the economic supply chain, as we just heard from Tucker, there's an article I just came across, and we're going to take a look at that and then my thoughts. Let's go. This comes out of Breitbart. Report, supply chain crisis impacting grocers. Shelves were bare and nearly empty. President Dementia's supply chain crisis is impacting grocery stores' abilities to keep food on shelves and workers employed. Quote, typically when shoppers can find snacks, canned goods, pet food, shelves were bare and nearly empty, a Jacksonville news station, WJXT reported, Quote, in Target, fruit snacks were limited, protein bars were nearly gone too, and Lunchables were in low stock, the outlet said. Quote, we saw the least amount of available frozen foods at Publix, and snack foods like beef jerky were running low. Quote, both stores had limits on pet food. CEO of the Michigan Pork Producers Association, Mary Kaplinski, told the Detroit Free Press that supply chain crisis is hurting suppliers' ability to keep food on the shelves. Nationally, our numbers are down. Kaplinski said, demand is very good. Everybody wants bacon, but we have fewer pigs. The challenge from keeping food on the shelves for consumers comes as the supply chain is suffering from a deficit of labor, primarily due to Dementia's government and Democratic asswipes controlling state governments, dispensing large unemployment benefits, and outweigh private sector wages. National Grocers Chairman and co-president Kemper Isley told Supermarket News he increased wages to compete with unemployment benefits. That's sad. Competitive pay, helping provide our crew members a wage and a benefits package that we believe is one of the best in retail grocery store business, is the most meaningful investment we can make. When we can retain people who are aligned with our values and provide growth-oriented career opportunities, we are investing in our community as well. National Grocers also said the wage increase had been in place since the beginning of the Chinese coronavirus in March of 2020. Quote, the initiative included a permanent 1-hour wage increase for store associates. The company said incremental cost of the extra pay topped $18 million as of September 30th. As a result of the Democratic policies, they pay workers more money than the labor market can afford without raising prices. You can't do one without the other. Either I'm going to give you more money, or I'm going to lower prices, or I'm going to raise prices so that it hurts you in your pocketbook. Your choice. A Moody's economics told New York Post that price increases are impacting the average American family by $175 a month. Quote, for households earning the U.S. median annual income about $70,000, the current inflation rate has forced them to spend another $175 a month on food, fuel, housing. Meanwhile, the Labor Department estimated American workers and families are paying 5.4% higher prices last year before dementia spent nearly $5 trillion. Wrap your mind around that. For corona stimulus. Yeah? How's that stimulus? Garbage. The department also marked the price for food at home more than doubling in September from the 0.4% in August. In the meat area of the grocery store, prices have increased double digits since last year, with steaks and roasts increasing more than 20%. Ground beef prices also increased 10% since last year. Beef products are not the only proteins experiencing price increases. Pork products have also become more expensive, increasing 12% in 1 year. Bacon, for example, is 20% more expensive than it was in 2020. My thoughts. Like I said, I'm not an economist, so but you can pretty much get the gist that prices are going higher across the board. Food prices, it's ridiculous. But this is what happens when you have an inexperienced, riddled dementia old man surrounding himself by asswipes in the White House. This is what you have. Versus someone from a business standpoint like we had for the last 4 years under one President Donald Trump. Say what you want, say what you will, but the fact of the matter is prices were lower a year ago when he was in office versus now. And that is 1,000% fucking fact. Come at me, bro. Come at me. It's called truth. It's called facts. It's not bullshit. We're all suffering because of it. But when you have those on CNN, when you have those on MSNBC chirping off, when you have those with supposed Harvard degrees, flapping their gums, saying, oh, there's nothing to see here. Frank Drebin, place is burning down. He's waving his hands going, nothing to see here. Go back to your homes. That is when there is a problem, and you need to be aware of it, because it's all hitting us now. And then come Christmas, when you can't get the gifts that you want for your loved ones. Birthdays, anniversaries. Yeah. You know who to blame. But of course, you know who's going to get the blame. Orange man bad. Us nasty Republicans, us nasty conservatives, libertarians who don't know anything. We're going to get the blame. Because they can't look in that mirror because the mirror's cracked. And then again, when you got rainbow glasses on, everything looks great to you, doesn't it? And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you never miss a thing. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.